Hi, welcome, I'm Wayne Webb, and today we're going to have a look at how I edit my videos, kind of. The end sequences to my adventure videos, I'm going to quickly give you a peek into how I edit them. Very, very simple, and I just want to add, this is not a Premiere Pro tutorial. I'm still very much a beginner. Hopefully you might pick something up if you are completely new to the program. So I've got my cup of tea. And let's get to it. As you can see here, I've got a drone footage folder. I have selected some random clips from my previous videos, and we are firstly going to select the last one I did. That fantastic shot at Abbotsbury Hill beauty spot. Now we see this is actually a clip I didn't use in the end sequence, so let's use it today. So let's find a good spot. And I just have a search, see where it's nice and smooth. See, that's no good, going backwards and forwards, lining up the shot. I'll start going forward and it seems to get about smooth about there. So I'll start the clip from there. I had to find a piece of music that I thought would sound good, which I do have here. And I can drag that onto the timeline there. And that's how much time I have to fill. Now the website I use for this, you can use YouTube's audio library. I did it first and it was pretty good. There were some good tracks on there. But since then I have started using this site, Epidemic Sound. Now I think it's in some way attached to Peter McKinnon. If you don't know who he is, he's quite a big YouTuber. Yeah, this is a pretty good site. You got music, sound effects, and you get a 30 days free trial, so definitely worth at least trying that out. So yeah, I grabbed my sounds from there and my music, and we can give this a listen. It's on mute. There we go. That's quite a nice little upbeat tune. I think I chose it because it reminds me very much of my favourite TV show of all time, which is Breaking Bad. And I think that fits quite well, so we're going to keep that, but I'm going to put it on mute because when we scrub through the videos we don't want to be scrubbing through the sound as well, it's annoying. So let's have a look at this clip a bit more closely. Nice smooth footage, nice car going past there. I've got the tractor doing something in the fields and the sea in the background. It's a nice shot. Plus you got the light and dark areas where the sun's coming through the clouds. Very nice. Cut that there. And will I use, I'm just going to quickly scrub through the rest, see if I would, oh hello. How smooth, that's a very nice shot as well. Again, that sun coming through the clouds, that's fantastic. So let's play that there. Sky is not overexposed, which is very important. That's why you need those ND filters. Let's cut that there, let's delete that bit we don't want. So definitely want to come back to this one. Right, I think that's all I want to use of that clip, so we'll delete the rest of that. Now what I want to do, because they're from the same clip, I am going to do an adjustment layer to colour grade them the same. So I'm going to go back here. I've already got an adjustment layer there. To make an adjustment layer, just right click an empty space, new item, and select adjustment layer. So I'm going to grab that adjustment layer there, stretch it over the both of them. There you have it. Now we apply our colour correction to the adjustment layer. We look on the right hand side, we have Lumetri colour. I think that's how you pronounce it. Lumetri? Something like that. It's not really something I heard before until I used Premiere Pro. And on the left hand side you can see we've got Lumetri scope. So we can see our exposure and our colours. Look at that. So you can see at the very top where it says 100 or 255, if you're hitting the very top you are blown out in the whites, and then at the other end you got complete blacks. So we're pretty good on this shot. If I bring the exposure down you can see it brings the whites down, but we're losing contrast at the same time. So let's add some contrast. Bring the highlights down a little bit so we get more detail in the clouds. Now we can see where it is, that little bit that might be blown out, which is right in the top. just right of center. So that might be a little blown out there. Shadows will bring down, add a bit more crunch, because now we want to make where that light is stick out more. So it doesn't darken that area, it just darkens the shadows area, which is lovely. Whites we don't really need to touch, I don't think. Then blacks we can bring down a touch. See, look at the bottom right corner. You're just losing the detail on those trees. So you only want to mess with that a touch. There we go. And I think that's all it needs. We can do a bit more with the curves. This is where you can start messing with the hue. Let's have a look at the hue versus hue. So use the sample eyedropper. Take a sample of the colour we want to adjust, and it gives us 3 dots on the graph there. And then we can start pushing that up or down, and it changes the hue of that colour. Just want to add some earthy tones, a bit more. Now if I hide the adjustment layer, we can see the difference between the two. So hide it, there we go. I think that looks a lot better. So I'm going to add another adjustment layer. Select that adjustment layer, go into the effects tab and type in crop. Drag crop onto the adjustment layer. Now it shows up on the left hand side. We've got top 12, bottom 12. Now we're cinematic, and we have got the rule of thirds thereabouts. I'm happy with that. You don't want the horizon halfway down, because that's just an amateur move. Now let's put the music back on and have a listen. I like the way the camera drops there. I want to see where the clip changes. I don't want it to be on the beat. Do I want it on that chord? I do, don't I? I want it on that chord. I don't like to over cut on the beat, because it's an audio and visual cue. It's a bit too much, and it doesn't feel right. It does feel right in some cases, and I'll quickly show you an example of that in my old rock metal band I was in. I did a video for it, Mahoney, and then right at the beginning of the song there's a little snare roll, and I cut at each snare hit just for that tiny little section. It works, but for everything else you don't want to be cutting the scene on each beat. It's not right. The drums kick in, you'll see the cuts. See there? I think that worked really well. The change is a little late. Yeah. And there is one more thing I haven't done yet. So go back into effects, and this is just the icing on the cake. Type in warp, and we have warp stabilizer. This just smooths out any little imperfections. So you just grab this warp stabilizer and drag it onto the clip, and it analyzes the video. And this can take a while. This is CPU intensive. Well, if you haven't guessed already, you're probably wondering why my aspect ratio is so wide. Yes, I use a ultra wide monitor. Love this thing. Love having the extra monitor real estate, if you will. So it's just about finished stabilizing. There we go. So what happens, it stabilizes, it might have to crop and just zoom in just a tad. And I just run through it, make sure nothing has gone strange and weird, because as it says, it's a warp stabilizer. You can see sometimes things do start warping around and going weird. Now that looks good, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to find the rest of the clips, put them together and show you the finished results. So hopefully this has been of some use to you. The weather's crap at the moment. That's why I haven't been out with my drone. Hopefully this weekend should be good. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.